It's Christmas and it's time for a lift tour. And not only is it time for a lift tour, it's time for a special Christmas mega awesome jam action packed lift tour. Today I'm not only in central Wellington, but I'm filming lifts in central Wellington right up Lambton Quay onto Willis Street and at the Grand Arcade. That's a lot of lifts. And first of all, to the Wellington Central bus station, which is just underneath the tunnel from the railway station, but the railway station just has a stupid ramp. And first to the red lift, but this lift is locked off and needs security to open it. Damn. And now to the blue lift, which is a hydraulic 90s Schindler. This one is not locked. Lift at Wellington bus and train station. It's a 90s Schindler top drive hydraulic. Still smells like piss in here from the last time I came. There should be -1 or subway or something, not 0. Capacity. Now this lift is horribly unpleasant to ride, so we're not riding it again. Here he goes. That's it. Now let's start walking down Lambton Quay. I didn't film any lifts in the office buildings, but I did go into the foyer of one office building which has some really rare lift buttons. These lift buttons are like a little transparent coloured ball. Seriously, a ball, like a bouncy ball or a marble that sits in a holder, and it's possible to spin the ball and all sorts of stuff. But you just press in the ball and then it lights up. Sadly though, the inside buttons have been replaced with Doohurst, so I don't know whether or not they had the same buttons inside. Look at these awesome lift buttons. That is a ball inside that holder. Inside that holder there is a small ball. It's possible to actually spin the ball inside the holder. They're Otis mods. They're modded Otises. They're modernised with Doohurst inside. And now going into Kirkcaldy & Staines. Kirkcaldy & Staines is a really posh, old-fashioned department store. But the lifts were replaced in the 1980s with EPL Kone lifts. And now into the lift. Now first we're going to go into the lift at the back, which is an awesome EPL Kone. But sadly though, the motor on this lift has been modernised slightly, so you can't really hear it that loudly anymore. This is the 80s EPL Kone lift, or one of them, at Kirkcaldy & Staines. This one has had a slight modernisation to the motor, so here we are. Back to 2. EPL buttons. Regular centre doors. Doesn't actually have a brand name. Oh, look at that! Schindler are now in charge of maintenance. That's all new. And now to the awesome main lift. The main lift is much bigger and you can clearly hear the motor. Plus the shaft lights were on so you could see up the shaft a bit. And this lift also uses Kone's classic chime. This lift was really busy, and on a couple of occasions you can see it go into nudge mode. There it goes. Level 2.
Does this lady want to get out?
No, we're actually going down.
Yeah, this lift will only allow you to go in one direction at a time. I won't be getting out either because this is a joyride.
Whee! All the way down.
Okay,
Back we go.
yeah, this one.
We might wait for the next one, darling.
No, stop.
I think clearly a lot of people don't realise there's another lift at the back.
Whee!
This is bigger than the buggies.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
We hop.
Okay, babe. Excuse me. Walk it out.
Everybody
Oh,
except me.
Caroline, watch his fingers on the walls. Does he? Wheels, sorry.
Yeah, it's supposed to have a cover on it. It
Is he
can't
alright?
actually do anything.
Alright, well, as long as he knows.
This is going to go into nudge mode now.
We'll go this one, right?
Look at that, nudge mode. Awesome. Indicators. Done. Here we are. This is the one with the epic motor. Come on, door close button does not work. Come on, close up. Now let's do nudge mode again. Oh, looks like the shaft light's on. I think we're stopping on one. Yeah.
Here we go.
Going down.
Oh, look at that yummy bubble.
All the shaft lights on.
Come on then, darling.
Cool, the shaft lights on. This will probably make a buzzing sound because it will probably have gone into nudge mode again. No, it's not. The doors are working this time.
Going down.
We are going down, darling.
To the food.
Here we go. How do we get out of here? Oh my gosh, this way. Right, this way. This way, go through. Let's go with Jodie, darling.
Look at that. Up the shaft. Look at that. And now going across the road and going into Farmers, which has eco discs. These discs go from the lower ground floor, which is Farmers, to the ground floor, which is Farmers, then to the first floor, which is Farmers. Then they go up, even further, up to a level called P, which is some sort of car park for an office building above. Then they go up to level 7. Level 7 is public access to a street above Lambton Quay called the Terrace. Then the lift on the right hand side only goes up to level 8, but this is locked off. The indicators on these lifts have for some stupid reason been reprogrammed to call the lower ground floor lower 0. I don't know why they've done this now, as they used to say lower ground. They've actually made it worse, not better.
How many times are you taking 20% off?
Which lift are we going to get? Looks like the one on the right. Cone monospace 3000S with KDS fixtures. Yep. Lower O? What a fail. What a fail. It should be lower G. Unless they... No, they've reprogrammed. The indicator's been reprogrammed to say lower O. It should say lower G. Somebody's reprogrammed this indicator. I don't have a lot of time on my hands today, so we're only going to film this lift. Here we are at the Terrace, street above Lambton Quay. That's where I'm going. Oh, squeaking the motor. Hi! Nice cab. Installed 2011, I think. They're maintained by Otis, or capacity 13 persons, 1000 kgs. The store originally had 80s Kone. Now we have monospace. There it goes. And now going along and going into Whitcoulls, which has, oh, hang on, it is an old lift, but it's been modernised by Otis and now looks like a crappy generic. Here we come to the lift at Whitcoulls on Lambton Quay. Modernised by Otis. Looks like a generic. Crap. Oh, looks like the lighting has been replaced. One is the highest we can go. That didn't sound good. One is the highest we can go. Modified by Otis. Indicators not really working. That didn't sound good. I'm thinking I don't want to ride this again. Ah well. Ah well. It's only a crummy generic looking lift anyway with Dewhurst. Not even really worth it. And now going into the Capital on the Quay shopping centre, which is basically at the base of an office building. The floor numbering in here is 1 and 2 instead of ground and 1 like the connecting Whitcoulls, just to confuse things. And first into the lifts at the back, which go up an office tower, but for some reason all of the floors are locked off inside, including level 1, which isn't actually part of the office building. It's public access to the ground floor, or in this case to the first floor. These used to be some nice, awesome 80s Kone M series lifts, but these lifts have had their buttons replaced. Oh, come on, Otis, the original buttons would have been so much better. I think we can get to one in these lifts. Notice how that lift uses regular doors, this lift uses 2-speed doors. Regular, 2-speed, regular, 2-speed. Looks like we're getting the 2-speed. Kone M series, Otis Mod. Oh, it's locked. We'll have to go in the glass lift. That's silly, one's a public. Seeing as we can't ride those lifts, I do know of a lift which we can ride. The glass lift at the front. Again, this lift has stupidly also had its buttons replaced. And also in this lift you can go up to level 8, which is public access to the terrace. Awesome. Capital on the Quay shopping centre. This is the public lift. It's coming up. It's a glass M series Kone, modded by Otis unfortunately, with new buttons. Which is disappointing. I'd much rather have the old buttons. Are we ready? Up we go. All the way up to 8. That's how high up we are. Going down.
And then Sarah, let's give her What? So for how long are you going away for?
Well, what's the point in resigning?
No, I don't think you should resign because you'll have holidays.
No, I don't.
But aren't you signing a full-time contract?
Yeah,
probably driving.
What?
Yeah.
They said to you that they were going to give you full-time hours. Well, I don't know if it's such a good idea because they.
And now going along and into what used to be another Whitcoulls store. This store used to have Whitcoulls on ground and 2 and then on level 1, which is a sort of mezzanine. This level 1 mezzanine is now a service area and there are now 2 shops on levels ground and 2, with a Glassons on the ground floor and a Hallenstein's on the second floor. There are levels 3 and 4 above, but I don't actually know what's above here. I think it's offices. And now there are 2 lifts here, but one of these is a service lift and locked off. And now, so let's ride the public lift, which has been modernised to look like a generic. However, though, this lift has an Otis chime, so I don't know whether or not it was modernised by a generic company using an Otis chime, or whether it's Otis that did the modernisation. This is is the lift at Glassons and Hallensteins. This is a former Wickles. Not sure what it is. Not sure whether this is a generic mod or an Otis mod. Now, ground is Glassons, 2 is Hallensteins. And 1 is the service area in between. I have no idea what's on 3 and 4. Oh, hang on. Oh no, it is Glassons. Somebody's just... Oh no, it is Hallenstein. Hang on a second. Doors can't shut because there's a box in the way. This is exactly the same as it was when this used to be a Wickles. Note, wow, this is fast. It's clearly a modernised lift and no idea what it used to be. That's all of the lifts on Lambton Quay. So now we're going to go down Willis Street, and before we enter the Grand Arcade, which is on, of which the main entrance is on Willis Street, we're going to go past it and go up towards New World, where there is a car park at the back. The lift here is a 1980s lift, but sadly though, this lift has had its buttons replaced by Schindler. This is the lift at the car park by New World on Willis Street. It's been modernised to look like a Schindler Eurolift MRL. This is on Willis Street. It's a modernised. Oh, beats. We're watching it go all the way up. Capacity is 17 persons and 1200 kgs. Not very fast because this is not actually a Schindler MRL, it's a modernised lift. There you can see is where the old floor indicator used to be, and judging by the fact that that panel is so small, shows that the old indicator was digital, which means that this lift was probably made in the 1980s, when digital indicators started being used. But no idea what it originally was, but we know it's from the 80s. And now into an office building, where on the ground and first floors there are some shops. And let's ride the lifts which have recently been modernised by Kone. This is one of the miniature malls on Willis Street, where there are some shops, and you are able to publicly take the lifts up the Kone modernisation with KDS. That button was broken already. Wow, this is posh. So you can so we take it to 1. Which publicly we're allowed to do, because this is just access to shops, such as those shops over there. Back to G. Recent modernisation. And now let's go back and into the awesome Grand Arcade. And now into the first lifts, which used to be some amazing old 70s Otis lifts. But these have been modernised. They've been refurbished inside and had new inside buttons. But fortunately, these lifts are original on the outside on every floor, which is nice. These are the lifts at the Grand Arcade. We all remember these. My dad used to work in. Oh, look at this new tower directory thing. Otis Lexon, but they have been modernised. We are going to go to 4 because you're able to access a car park there. It's just a question of which lift we'll be getting. 3 of them, oh, nice green doors. Coming along soon. Come on, where are you? Here we are, one in the middle. There, as you can see, modernised, new cab, new buttons, new indicators. So 4. They still have the nice original motors though, which is cool. Here we are. And they still have the original buttons and bells outside. We're going to go to 1 because that is where we have access into the rest of the Grand Arcade. It does have classic levelling. And here is an old clip which I took a few years ago that shows what the lifts used to look like. Okay, we are in the Grand Arcade and they have some old O's here. These are 1970s. Old O's Lexan. Not like them barely lighting. Yeah. Going down. Start by going to -1. Now the doors. See there, Otis. Yeah. Classic Otis levelling. Then we're going to just go to floor 0 because that's my stop. Yeah. Watch this classic Otis level. Look at that. Classic Otis levelling. That bell gets its top comes. And now, I am now on level 1. Let's walk around the arcade and see some of the other lifts. Then after that we'll go to the AMI Plaza. So the AMI Plaza has, or is it the ASB Plaza? I always get those two mixed up. Anyway, it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't really matter what one it is. But you can take the lifts there down to the exit. So you can only take these lifts between levels 1 and 2. All other floors are locked off. These lifts are some more 70s Otis lifts that have been completely modernised to look like new Otis lifts. More parts of the Grand Arcade. Walcott Street, level 6. Pedestrian. So we can't actually take these lifts because they're not physically public lifts, but this is what, oh, look at that floor indicator. This is the Grand Annex part of the arcade. Very, very posh. Stylishly modern, but also awesomely old at the same time. These are some 70s Otis Lexans, but they go up to an office tower, we can't ride those. This place is amazing. Architecture in here is amazing. Love this. AMI Plaza now. Look at these old paving stones, and then it completely changes through here. I love this architecture. The shop that was there is gone, and now we're going to come around into some more modernised 70s Otis lifts to take us down. Going down. Here we are at 1. We can only take these between the 2 public levels, ground and 1. Button B. That's where the old Otis Florence Caddy used to be, in the old Otis buttons. Cab. It's nice. There it goes. And now let's head out towards the Plymouth Steps. If you don't feel like walking up the Plymouth Steps, you can go you can go to the travel lodge and go into the Schindler lifts there and take them up to level 4. These lifts are a bit plain and boring though, really, so I only rode these lifts in one direction.
Here we are at Plymouth Steps, and if you don't want to walk up these steps, simply go to Travelodge. If you don't want to walk up the Plymouth Steps, there is a shortcut. If you come into Travelodge, there's some Schindlers which you can take up to 4. Here it is. Sorry about the shake. Take it to 4. These lifts are a bit boring, really. They're quite plain, chock full of advertising. We're only going to take these just on this ride. These are so boring. Even though they're Schindler, they're just so boring. It goes.
And now to the car park at the back. The lowest floor of this car park is level 4, because it matches the floor numbering of the Grand Arcade itself, and then it goes up to level 13, which is locked off. So the highest floor that you can take the lifts to is level 12. These lifts are some more 70s Otis lifts that have been modernised to look like new Otis lifts.
This is the car park. Here we have some more Otis mods. Nice button beep. Looks like it'll be this one. This one appears to be coming down. Lowest level is 4 because it's equal. The car park uses the same floor numbering as the rest of the tower area. 13's locked, so I have to go to 12. Capacity 1,134 kgs, 17 persons. Seriously? Well, first off, that is precision for you, and also you could not. I would seriously debate whether or not you could fit 17 people in here. Or maybe you could. Original indicator location there. New buttons, new interior, mirror. Hey there, guys. Yeah, modernised by Otis, our old friend security, who probably don't give a shit. They probably don't even know I'm here. And here we are.
Now let's go all the way back into the Grand Arcade, down in those first lifts with the green doors and into the food courts. There is an office building which has some Otis lifts with destination dispatch. Now I don't ride lifts in office buildings, so this is just a quick demonstration of how the destination dispatch works.
These are some more office building lifts. We can't ride them. I'm just going to give a demonstration.
Please enter destination floor. North 12. Proceed to car H to the right.
Oh my god. They actually work. Showing you.
Please enter destination floor. North G. Proceed to car H to the right.
Finally, going into the Old Bank Shopping Arcade and into the last lift on our tour, which is a 90s Schindler glass lift that has been styled to look old. It hasn't really worked because the inside analog indicator doesn't work, and it's quite obvious that it's an original 90s Schindler and that it is not a modernised lift.
We come to the glass 90s Schindler lift. Oh, isn't that convenient? Oh, look at the chair. Glass 90s Schindler lift at the Old Bank Arcade. Two's locked, so I have to go to 1. It's a glass lift. It's a 90s Schindler traction. Foul. Now we go back to the underground. The indicator does not work. It's a 90 Schindler. Nice, scenic one. Send it to one. Run. Through the door. Just in time to see the off. Oh, it's not moving. Hang on. Now it should move. There it goes. And the counterweight comes down.